Good morning to all of you. Namaskar. First of all, Dr. Anurag Batra, happy birthday to your father and father-in-law, 85 and 81 respectively. And on such a day, you are holding this conference because of the convenience of some of us. So thank you for that. Well, future of management education is what we are supposed to talk about. And Anurag opened the innings by saying 30 years ago what he studied, how much of it is relevant today, what changes have happened in the last decade or so, more so in the last 5 years. Especially he mentioned the emergence of artificial intelligence as a great tool. Whether it is a boon or a bane, is a question which many people are asking. Well, artificial intelligence is here and it is going to stay. There are a variety of AI tools available today, both for faculty members and educators, as well as for students. And that's why we cannot get away from using AI. We will have to use it diligently, with ethics, and that is the purpose of all that. He also talked about the nature of faculty who are there, the changes that are happening, are they well prepared for all of this? And therefore, teacher training program, faculty training program is going to be of immense importance. And again, AI is going to come handy for that as well. The third one which he referred was about well-being. This is being discussed in whether it is educational institutions or corporate world. Many suicides that are happening even in the places where their incomes are so high is also surprising, and therefore well-being is a very important aspect, and therefore he mentioned about yoga, meditation, which will also become part of the curriculum in some way or the other. Maybe start the day with some short meditation session and then go along. I think these are some of the issues which he raised. But I would like to get into how are we going to empower the next generation of students who are going to become managers. He mentioned about 1 year MBA program versus 2-year MBA program. I think the 2-year MBA program, which has been there in vogue for quite some time, is going to continue. There is no shortcut in learning, developing those skill sets and abilities. But those who had had previous experience, whether in terms of industry or having done BBA, which is already having a lot of business management content and administration, maybe for them 1 year is fine. But for the rest of the students who come from general education, be it BA, BSc, BCom, BE or MBBS, all of them who take admission, 1 year will be too short a time to earn all those skill sets which are necessary, and therefore 2-year MBA program will continue. Anurag also mentioned about new terminology which has come, which is known as blended learning. And this is going to take shape in more ways than one. And therefore, how do we make use of this blended learning methodology? Huge content is available on not only management education, but all variety of education on the internet, on the YouTube, on the massive online open courses platform. In India itself, भारत में ही हमने जो स्वयं platform तैयार किया है, उसको स्वयं plus को भी add किया है, where there are a lot of skill-oriented and employment-oriented courses onboarded. Therefore, students can have access to this content from anywhere, any place, from any best faculty in the world, on their desktop, on their laptop, or on their mobile phone itself. And therefore, the faculty members have to go deep dive into what are those courses available, which are being delivered in the classroom, and ask the students to watch those videos and come prepared. Otherwise, students of today, the screen age children, we started with Gen X, Y, Z, and now Alpha, and so on. They are least interested in listening to a monologue for about 45-50 minutes in a classroom. They know that most of that content is already available and they can watch it and learn by themselves. And therefore, what teachers need to do is, you have to curate right kind of videos and content that is available on the web. Tell them to watch those videos, learn from that, and come prepared in the classroom. classroom should be highly interactive. In fact, compared to other education, I'm sure management education has the lead in more interactiveness than all other variety of education. They also deal with what is known as case studies, and therefore students prepare for that case and then come back, and then there's a lot of discussion which is already happening. But how do we go forward further by using all variety of technologies that are available? One is the content, which I said. But to make the content more interesting, lively, inquisitive, we have other tools like augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, digital twins, also a lot of animation and simulation. And some of those software which are used in management for business, simulation tools are already available. So how do we make even more variety of such tools which will empower students in not only learning the subject, the theory behind that, but more importantly, application behind that. And when it comes to application, students have to be told often about ethics and integrity. And this is a very important part in our public domain, public life, in educational institutions, even in political life, in all places. We all talk about eradicating corruption, but it still exists. How do we do it? And therefore, lessons on values, ethics, empathy, they are all equally important, which can be taught to the students through a variety of ways. It's not just the classroom exercise, but through animation and simulation as well. Last but not the least, we talked about employability. Are the employment generation is continuing to happen? Are the students in the management schools getting employment? There were some discerning voices last couple of years. The number of placements from even the best of the institutions have come down. And therefore, when Anurag raised a topic that whether entrepreneurship and creation of startups is a one which is compulsion on them, or is it their choice? I think it is both ways. Since there are less number of jobs in the market, therefore we have to prepare our students to entrepreneurial journey, therefore courses on entrepreneurship, business development. How do you get 1 minute pitch to be prepared for getting funding from the angel investors? All of that should also be part of the curriculum. But more importantly, it's not just because of compulsion, but because the nation wants it. Our Prime Minister is talking about last 3-4 years about in the Amrit Kal, we have to deal with what is known as going to Viksit Bharat by 2047. And if we have to be truly Viksit, that will happen from individual institutions, individual states, and then the whole nation will become Viksit. And for that, one of the most important part is empowering students to become entrepreneurs. And therefore, training in entrepreneurship is very, very significant and important. And then to create that, it is not just the academic institutions, but students should be sent to industry. And therefore, internships also become significantly important. How do we engage with industry, not only in curriculum frameworks, evaluation, and also having hands-on experience in the industry itself. And that's why all management schools also should have some kind of immersion program, not just in foreign universities and some of the places, but also in the industry itself. Maybe short-term 2 months is also a good exposure for students to know what is the need of the hour for our country to grow, and therefore how do we develop ourselves in terms of all those skill sets which are necessary to become an excellent entrepreneur and create the startups. The signs are visible. I'm giving always 3 statistics which are equally important. India, from being 10th, 11th largest economy, has moved on to become 4th largest economy. We have huge demographic dividend, young population. Thirdly, in terms of innovation, we have moved on from 81st position in the Global Innovation Index to the 38th position. We have not slipped a single rank. Might be we have moved up only by 1 rank, 2 ranks sometimes by 6, 7 ranks, but we have been moving upwards. In terms of the number of startups which have created our Indian economy, from being less than about 400 registered startups, we have crossed 1,50,000, 1,75,000 in fact, and some of them survive, some of them not. But compared to any other country of the world where we say that only 10% of the startups survive, in our country, they have been all surviving, maybe in a small scale, may not have become what we call as unicorns, and they are also in large numbers, more than 100 in number, but we have been very proud that our startup ecosystem has come a long way. We are the third largest startup ecosystem of the world. So business schools, through their curriculum, through their research, through their case studies, have to imbibe all these qualities amongst our graduates. Only then, not only they will be employable, but they will be creating their own startup venture and continue with that. I think the time is up, sign has come, so I will stop here. And if there are any questions, suggestions, we will take them up subsequently. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.